Mr Betts, I can be very brief because there are just a few points that I'd like to make. And of course, I come to this debate having not known a great deal about this issue before I was elected. And like so many people, I was lobbied and introduced to this subject by a constituent, and specifically the Meredith family in my constituency, who are very involved in liver diagnosis and transplant services and the need for them to be improved in the South West. And throughout that time, throughout the last 3 years, I have met with them on a regular occurrence to discuss this issue and to see what the UK can do in terms of improving its services across the whole of the country, and also looking at some of the positives and some of the negatives. And of course, I come specifically to this debate to point out some of the negatives. But it has been a fascinating journey in which I've met with Professor Camp of University Hospitals Plymouth NHS Trust to discuss this matter, to see where we might be able to improve it, and also to lobby my colleagues in the South West to see whether or not we might be able to begin a campaign to improve South West transplant and diagnosis services in Plymouth Hospital, because I think there is a real need, and certainly the statistics speak for themselves. Of course, I continue to learn on this issue. In fact, I was completely unaware of the link between smoking and liver disease, and given the fact that I'm trying to quit smoking, this has only redoubled my efforts. But it is an important thing, because we talk here in this debate about where we can tackle things at source, where we can tackle people who have got alcohol addiction, smoking addiction, where there are issues around obesity, and of course we must address those at source points. But I actually would like to just focus very briefly, Mr Betts, on the geographical disadvantages. The Honourable Lady made this point about what she sees in her own constituency, but it's absolutely the same in mine. When I have people who are in need of liver transplants having to travel across the country for the potential moment of having a transplant offered to them, and then rejected when they arrive at the hospital, to then travel back to the South West, which on a good day can be a 4, 5, 6 hour round trip, far more if you're driving by car. It's incredibly debilitating for them. It's incredibly destructive and hurts their health. So we need to look at where we can actually improve this geographical disadvantage. And I think the South West is more than a good case in point. As I understand it, there is due to be a review of adult liver disease services that has been undertaken this year. I understand it was meant to be 22-23. Could the Minister perhaps actually update this House? And again, I apologise for not being here for her concluding remarks, but I will be, of course, looking at Hansard tomorrow. But if this is going to be undertaken this year and when it's likely to come back, because it is hugely important. And a great many of us are banking on this report to be able to actually identify some of the pitfalls across the country. The second thing is actually, could I invite the Minister to meet with the Meredith family and to meet with Professor Camp from Plymouth to discuss this issue and to get a better sense of where we are in the South West and where it's really proving to be a disadvantage for those who are suffering. We have a real opportunity. I don't think there's any politics in this issue. I think we are all recognising the pitfalls across the country, where it is increasing, why it is increasing, and we have the opportunity to be able to address it. So I look forward to seeing the Minister's response, and I again congratulate the Honourable Lady for securing this debate.